Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So finally got Pandemonium to A7, mainly because I was having some issue with bringing gear, so I delayed it. Unfortunately, it was too late, and I missed Twilight. I missed Endless, so I can't test it there. So coming to his skills at A7, so from A3, this is pretty good. His max HP is increased by 10%, and Guardian State, he receives 30% less damage from 3 meter radius. In game, you'll see as a visual as like a blue little circle around him. It's pretty decent, and this is also effective against true damage, so hunters. And most important thing is A5. So unbreakable defense. He strikes the ground, gaining a shield equal to 30% max HP, and it deals damage to enemies around him equal to 30% of max HP. So now I believe Wamigon is having. Let me see, check it out real quick. All right. So yeah, Wamigon is having 40%. So Pandemonium is getting 30, but it's less than Wamigon, but he's getting a shield, and Wamigon doesn't from his ult. A5. Alright, and then deals damage to enemies around him equal 30% max HP. All tank tiers enter the nuclear magnetic barrier mode every 5 seconds, getting better than a pulse. Total 4 times, even though equal 10% of the skill damage. This part is the old ult, still the same. Then this is all the old ult. Alright, the main thing is you will notice like 100% damage increase from A5. If you go to A7, you'll see around 300% increase damage. It's really strong, and he does buff your entire tank team at A7. So the pulses stack up to 50% at A7, and then for his A3 skill, you get an upgrade to that. His Guardian State now lasts for entire state, so he'll be a super tank like Wamigon for the whole battle. Now, at the start of the battle, the effect allies tank damage is permanently increased by 40%. Is immediately activated now, regardless of the conclusion of Pandemonium's Guardian State. So what this means is, let me find it real quick. So Pandemonium gains a damage diversion status. After reading this, I feel like there's a translation issue here. It says damage diversion here, and then it says, what does it say here? It says Pandemonium's Guardian State. Now, question is this same as that, or are we seeing another bug? We don't know, right? So I'll put a note to the devs, like the admins, about this. See if it's just a translation issue or not. So yeah, Pandemonium gains the damage diversion status, reduces all damage taken by 50% for 80 seconds. After the damage diversion stage ends, all of our heavy heroes deal permanent 40% increased damage. So after 80 seconds, this 40% damage increases without the A7 node. If you put in the A7 node, this 40% is immediately active at the start of the battle. So there's a huge difference, right? He buffs your entire tanks, and his damage also increases by a lot. Now the question is, who do you go for? Do you go for A7 Wamigon first, or do you go for A7 Pandemonium? I would wait on this because right now PvP formation is a little bit of a problem, because he's the only parent tank, while we have Wamigon as Atlas, or a support then as Wenfear. So we should get a new tank in about 12 days. So I would wait and see what the faction of the new tank is, and I would decide based on that. I'll make a video on that, or I'll post on the Discord about what I think you should, like, what would be the best case scenario. All right, so coming to the gearing, so we have 2 sets for PvE and PvP, and then for PvE, you want to run your tanks on crit based gear. So try to find pieces that have HP, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, or damage reduction. It's very RNG, like how everyone's luck is in terms of gearing. So this is my gear on him. Pretty decent. A lot of crit damage nodes I have. And in terms of is HP better than crit damage on the substats, it's roughly equal. So this is pretty much like HP plus 3. The only issue I have is gloves. These are okay. I wish I had like crit damage or damage reduction here, but this is okay. And this one here, and then HP boost here. Now the question is, right, do you need accuracy in PvE? Or is he better off in HP boots or HP helmet? I find it better to run full HP because of his ult. It's 30% of his max HP. I will make another video in this testing versus HP versus accuracy, but so far I've been talking to other players from BB clan and they were saying that HP has been better in PvE, like you're stacking full HP. Alright, so this is the gear for him, and coming to PvP gear, Resonant Hawkeye, HP, accuracy, HP. Now, if your Pandemonium is having trouble in your cluster, like if you're having trouble keeping them alive, definitely run damage reduction boots here. In my cluster, I'm the only spender, right? So I don't have an issue with this. If I was placing another Kraken, I would probably put in damage reduction boots instead. But for now, this is what I'm running. So I have him exactly right about 300, like 320 accuracy. It's a little above 20 above, but that's the best I can gear him right now. So I like to personally gear him for 100% chance in PvP. So that's why I go for 200. 200, 250 is fine. 300 gives you 100% chance. And yeah, this is the gear I'll test on another video, testing accuracy, helmet versus HP helmet, and HP boots versus damage reduction boots, as his skill damage is scaled off of total damage reduction. Alright, so I don't have Twilight, or sorry, Endless, so we're gonna be testing this in Holy Land contract, no contracts are variable, all at 0. So gearing, this is Connor's gear, same thing, opportunistic, sun signet, crit based build. Pandemonium's gear is a little bit better. Mirage, I cannot make a fourth set of the gear on him. I don't have enough pieces, so even though if I put him in correct gear, he's not going to be beating any of the other 3 tanks we're testing with. And then yeah, bombing on, I have an issue right here with this gear. I'm completely out of like waste gear I can temper right now. These are, I have to go through all of these, which I'm too lazy to do right now, to be frankly speaking. So I'll be waiting on that. A little slightly worse than Connor's. And then Canis, I do have a crit based build on him. It's okay. I cannot temper these gear right now, but I will play with this for now. Usually I run this on him. Commander, nothing changed. +2 Connor, +2 Pangong. You do want +1 Pande on skills, but I cannot find him. And then I have 2 damage amplifiers here. Then I only have a purple gem here, and 2 60% tank HP. Alright, so let's see how they do in Holy Land contract. So the reason I'm not using Orton is because of the buff. I'll first see how Pande does without, like how he does versus the tanks without Pande buffing Connor and Wobbegong. So I'll put him in after this. Alright, so we're running Mirage instead of Orton, so we don't factor in the buff for Connor and Wobbegong. So, Pande at the top, 4 point. Keep in mind this is not a maxed Connor, or I'm about 2 copies away. And then Pandemonium is at 4.8. Wobbegong, his gear was not fully maxed. His helmet is still at tier 1, 3.8. So I expect him to be around 4.4 at fully maxed. Yeah, Connor 3.7. Alright, so let's take out Tarish and put in Orton. So Orton's ult buffs Ventfear and Atlas here is by 72%. Like I said, I don't have a fourth set of gear I can run right now, fortunately for Orton, but he's not going to be beating all of these heroes, even with the crit set. Alright, so Connor, 2-way for max, 5.2, top of the meters. Orton, not crit gear, 1 billion. Canis, somewhat of crit gear, 650. Womigon, 4.3. And then Pandemonium, 4.8. Max Connor is still going to beat these two regardless, but you can see, right? Even with Orton, 2-way for max, Connor is still beating Pandemonium and Womigon. But yeah, Womigon's helmet is not fully tempered yet, or the boots, so. Alright, so Holy Man contract is done. I missed Endless, I cannot test there unfortunately, so we'll have to wait for Twilight. And then there's nothing else I can test here on. We don't have Battlefield Azure, but here the tank damage is pretty random. Whoever gets a knockback and Outbreak will be doing the most damage, so even Canis can place the highest score here, so. Oh, let's test against Summers here. This stage is really hard. So let me put my tanks in. Take out Mirage, put in Canis. Okay, so we'll do something like this. I'm actually going to have to manual this one because it stays possible. Alright, so let's give it to Pandemonium. Let's see if I can pull all of them together. Nope. I pull. Nope. Right, I was manually lobbing on so he didn't transform. Alright, I do think I can beat this. I just have to kill Apu here, but we are missing the dragon stage of bombing on here, so I don't think it's going to cut it. Question is, can I kill Daniel here now and give it to Connor here instead? Nope, we're pretty close. Okay, so yeah. Let's see the damage, pretty close. Yeah, Connor, SP, 6.9, he's incredible in stages where there's AoE. And then Orton, 1.4, without non-crit gear. And then Womigon with crit gear, 1.8, but he was not in dragon form. And then Pandemonium, 2.7. Alright, so fortunately that's what I can show in PvE right now. Don't have access to Twilight or Endless yet. Can't really show an exotic, there's really no use of playing tanks here. Soul Mine, can only use Wenfu here, there's no point there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's head on to PvP. But yeah, and Guild Expedition, I don't have him available. This won't be available for a while for me. My cluster mainly doesn't have Vanguard's build that much, so I have to break this down myself. Alright, PvP, so. This is the issue with PvP, right? So normally, without Pandemonium, right, you run Orton, something like this, right? Fight. Now, we have 1 Winfear, 2 Winfear, 1 Atlas, 1 Terran, 1 Atlas, and then Mazrani, 1 Atlas. So, Orton buffs the tank's damage by 17%, right? Especially Mirage, Womigon, and Connor. Who do you take out, right, to put in Pandemonium? He's Terran. He does synergize with Connor, but most 3-play players won't have Connor, right? So I'll show you, like, Mirage is very important against summoners. as this is the only team I can show against right now. I don't have anyone else playing any other class in defense, and this is the strongest player in my cluster right now. After me, for a free-to-play player. So let's put him in resonant gear, and then run something like this. We do get fire 5 now. Okay, let me try that again. You'll see why in a section. You'll see why in a second. Why Tourist throw is very important against Summers, tanks versus Summers, because Push is constantly going to ult and keep the front line stunned. If you can get, if your Orton can pull up one ult, then it's pretty much GG. The tank should win, but he's completely CC changed here, and Connor actually died. You can see, right? Our Orton just one stop, 162 million. Keep in mind, this is like almost a free-to-play player, and I'm having trouble beating him. Imagine if this is a whale or someone that was at my level in the spending. I'd probably not be beating him at all. Alright, so it's Wamigon versus Masrani, Alu, and Ampu. I don't think he's going to clutch it. We'll have to see. But the shield is insane here. He's just completely CC locked. Yeah, he's going to die here. $300 million. I believe I put him in his quick gear here. I'm gonna change back to his tank gear here. And yeah, Orton 162. Connor didn't do much this time. Then Pande 45, and then Kindness 127. See, right? Free to play, Ampu 300. Alu 52 mil. A6 sip, I believe, 22 mil. So let's try that one more time. Now, put him in. Oh, he was in his tank gear. Okay. Let's take out Orton and put in Tarish. So we'll run something like this. We are 4 to 5 now. Alright, so Jack City is dead. I think die next. Get off one ult maybe. Connor is dead. Okay, so there's the bug here. It shows Connor's dead, but I can see him alive here, so I guess it's time to report this to the admins here. Yeah, he should be dead, or this might be a bit. I'm not sure what's happening here. So he just cast the ult and he did no damage, so I think this is a bug. Yeah, Cherish is also bugged, so I never saw this bug before. This is new for me, so it's kind of insane. Alright, so I think I'm gonna lose this one as well. Yep. Alright. 400. Pande didn't 22 million. Alright. Let's try it one more time. I'm gonna see if this might be better. And am I using my okay. You can see, right, the importance of Tertius Throw. If you're using Orton here, this would be impossible to win against Summers. Against a free play player, by the way. Canis, amazing damage for support in PvP. Well, so yeah, I don't see him doing wonders in PvP against the Summoner team. Usually where tanks have a tough time against them. And unfortunately, I can't see against other units, like other classes, Assassins, Energy, Hunters, the Vanguard, so I'll wait for other content creators' videos on that. Inside Gaming, Gameplay Horizon, are the English-speaking content creators that are left in this game. Alright, so earlier we were throwing Wobbegong to the back. Now we'll see what Pande can do in terms of damage if we throw him to the back. So we'll play something like this, right? We'll keep Wobbegong on the left side and Orton on the right side. I took off Connor because I feel like he's not doing much for me here at this level of at this level, so earlier I did not have the right gear on Canis. The Resonant wasn't tempered, but right now he's in his correct gear, so honestly, I think it's just better to run it like this because Connor is not doing much at that. I think only a Max Connor would be a little bit more successful than Orton at against Mapu teams. So yeah, he threw Pande to the back. He ends up doing the most damage. Canis a little bit behind, and Orton 73. Wobbegong didn't really ult off this fight, so 23. It's pretty much who get their ult off first, right? Tanks versus Summers. Let's do it one more time. Now what happens if you send him this way instead of this way? Alright, one Pande ult killed all three, so yeah, it might be better just to send Pande to the back. So let's trust again. Then Wobbegong to the back. Alright, Canis just one-shot Masrani there. And that Pandemonium ult was pretty huge. Alright, so it's funny, we're actually seeing more success. We took out the SP. It's kind of hilarious to me. So yeah, Canis 141, Pandemonium 87. Alright, so my final thoughts after testing him in PvP and PvE. So definitely Pandemonium is better than Wobbegong in PvE. But in terms of PvP, I would still say Wobbegong is better than PvP. And PvE doesn't really matter that much in this game. You just use about any have your arsenal. But PvP is the more simple important thing, so that's why I am rating not higher than Pandemonium. Just because he has more survivability. His ult can one shot as well, like on Pandemoniums. But some people will argue that the A7 node for permanent 40% deck damage is also really good. But yeah, That's just my opinion. I do think Wamiga is better in PvP, but Pandemonium is going to be better in PvP for sure. I would still wait on what the new hero does. It should be a tank coming up in 12 days, so I would wait until the skills are released and what faction he is. If it's another Terran, then it might be better to get Pandemonium to A7 first if you don't have any of the tanks awakened yet. Yeah, I would definitely wait on it. For now, yeah, like I said, Wamigon still the best I feel in my opinion for PvP in terms of awakening versus Pandemonium. Pandemonium loses to Max Connor in PvE, but usually the second. PvP followed by Wamigon. So yeah. If you guys like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye guys.